Humans are creatures of habit. These habits are really hard to unlearn once they get stuck in, all right? You think about it. We create habits and patterns all day, every day, all right? My gentlemen in the room, the guys in the room, did you wake up this morning and go, you know what, all right, I got to shave. You got out of the shower and you shaved and you're like, you know what, today I'm just going to shave in a completely different pattern than I have ever in my life, you know? Did anybody do that? No. You shave the same way you shaved every time you ever got up, all right? That's one of those patterns that we create in the morning. Why do we create a habit like that? Why do we create a pattern, all right? How much brain energy do you need to brush your teeth? How much cognitive energy do you need to shave your face, okay? Or get in the car and drive away? You don't need much, right? And especially after having muscle memory and doing it a million times, you don't need a lot there. So we like patterns, we like habits. They're shortcuts and we don't have to expend a lot of energy, all right? Think about humans and the needs we have. Do humans have needs, right? Base needs. I'm not talking about this other stuff yet. Base needs of a human being. Yeah, we do, all right? You might remember in psychology or high school, maybe Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know? It's kind of pyramid of what we need. We don't need to get all deep into that, but just know like at the base of it, all human beings need regulated body temperature. They need shelter, they need food, water, and so forth, right? And then once you've established those base needs, now we can bump up a step. Now we can go out and start, building a house, making some friends, getting a partner, and then from so on and so forth, all the way to self-actualization. So you can't really move on to the next step successfully until you kind of take an error. So we can use that concept. So yes, definitely humans have needs that must be fulfilled. We create these patterns all the time, all right? So the whole idea is to understand that they're hard to unlearn and they're hardwired, a lot of them, okay? I read a study one time, I can't remember, don't quote me on this, but it's like when you get up in the morning, you get in your car and you're driving to work, the first 3 to 7 minutes, you're not even fully medically awake, okay? That's not a bad thing, all right? Coincidentally, where do most accidents happen? What is it, 1 or 2 miles away from your home? 2 to 7 minutes away? So big surprise there. So these habits and patterns we want to look for and disrupt those, all right? Because if you can look for patterns and get yourself used to that, we can really use this hunter mindset. This is how I build in that cunning, that proactive side I talked about, right? Let's think of a hunter, all right? Let's put our hunter hat on. I don't even care if you've ever been hunting in your life, all right? Let's say I'm out here in Southern California. I don't want to go hunt a mule deer buck, all right? And I've never seen a mule deer buck, but I'm going to go hunt one, all right? So I'm not very savvy hunter, so I get in my car and I drive down the 5 freeway and I stop in Santa Monica, up by Hollywood or LA up there, and I get out on the huge 5 freeway and I got my .338 Lapua Magnum, rifle, and I'm just wandering around Santa Monica, up by the pier with my rifle. You think it's going to be a very good day for me? How successful a hunt is it going to be? Not very good, okay? Probably going to get shot in the butt by the CHP, all right? Because I don't know anything about my prey. I've never seen him before, all right? So instead of a dumb hunter like that, what would a smart hunter do? If I said you had to go hunt me a mule deer buck, what would you do? Where would you go? What would you look for? A savvy hunter will go to the areas where those bucks are, okay? I know this area, maybe in Colorado or whatever it is. I'm gonna get on the ground and start looking on the ground, all right? What are you looking for? What indicators would you look for? Do animals have needs that must be fulfilled? Do animals need food, water, shelter, regulated body temperature? Yes, they do, just like us. So a smart hunter is going to go to those trails where there's watering or game areas or where they eat, and he's going to sit there in a tree stand and he's going to wait for that game to come to him. See what I'm saying? That's the kind of concept I want you to walk around. Be savvy, be 2 or 3 steps ahead of this and have that prey come to him. So that's a smart hunter. So I want you to take that concept and walk around with it, all right? You're a thinking, hunting predator, okay? If some of you clutch your pearls, you don't like that comment, I don't care. I'm just speaking biological fact, all right? Biological fact. This is not an opinion. You are a thinking, hunting predator, all right? Not only are you a thinking, hunting predator, you're an apex predator. There is nothing higher on this world, there's nothing higher on the food chain than everybody listening to this training right now, okay? So pat yourselves on the shoulder, okay? We're an apex predator. We have all the predators are under us, right? So how did we get like that, right? We didn't always be like that, pat yourself on the shoulder now, but we weren't always like that, okay? A long time ago, we were kind of right there in the middle of the pack, back in the, non-permissive times, if it moved, it could kill you, lions and cheetahs and wolves and all that stuff. So we were kind of in the middle there. So that's where we developed these hardwired mechanisms and behaviors we're talking about, all right? We're top of the food chain, but again, we didn't always used to be there, right? Think about biological components of a predator. Think about the eye orientation. A prey animal will be orientated to the side. Why is that? Why are their eyes orientated on their head to the side? Because they're a prey animal. They're non-permissive around. They're always looking for something trying to kill them, all right? So they got to be on the lookout, all right? Oftentimes they can articulate their ears in different directions. You think of a deer or a horse and so on. Predators, how are their eyes orientated? Forward or to the side? Forward, yeah. Because are they worried about their side? No, they're not worried about it. They're the predator in that area. So they're looking forward, looking for their prey. What way are your eyes orientated? Forward, all right? Not only are they forward, but you are the most forward-facing predator on this entire globe, okay? So if you didn't believe it before, I need you to hit the I believe button on now. You're a thinking, hunted predator. But the problem with that is we've forgotten a lot of that. It's a much more polite society now, and the internet and apps and all that, right? And we've kind of turned into this weak, mewling, kind of middle of the pack, prey animal, all right? When I want to bust the rust and show you, absolutely not. We're an apex predator, okay? But how are we an apex predator? I'm not faster than a cheetah. I'm not stronger than a lion. I can't fight a bear. Maybe I could. I don't know. But I probably couldn't. But how is that? We're not stronger or faster than them. We're smarter. All right. General Mattis, I served under him for all my deployments, and he used to tell us, the most important 6 inches on the battlefield is right between your ears. So make sure you utilize that, all right? Put that bad guy hat on. This is that serial killer concept, all right? I want you to go home and put a bad guy hat on. I want you to stand in front of your house. I want you to try to rob your own house. I want you to try to burglarize, break and enter your own home, okay? Please don't physically take a rock and throw it through the window. Why am I saying this? But stand there and walk around the perimeter, see how you can get into your home. You'd be surprised how much security gaps you could find, all right? Simple little concept, and you should always be walking around doing that. Put that bad guy hat on. How would I rob this? How would I steal this car? How would I do this? Now you're walking through, now you're planning, now you're developing. And when you do that, you can spot those behaviors. You spot those behaviors out in town. So that's that hunter's mindset, all right? We didn't know we're at the top of the food chain. We didn't always used to be there, but we kind of mentally need to get back on top there. Okay, go? How do we do that? How do we get back to that apex predator status? I need to speed up your decision making, okay? Again, we're inundated with information all day, every day, in apps and videos and Facebook and all that, and our attention spans are gone, all right? Literally, I think in the past 10 years, they've done studies. Our shortest attention span, 10 years ago, was 12 seconds. I think they did it, recently, and I think we've lost 4 seconds. We're down to 8 seconds of attention span. So, there's a lot of stuff happening. So I need to stop taking in all this information when it comes to threats and violence to speed up that decision making, all right? You're proactively doing this. We're not waiting for something violent or bad to happen and then reacting, then spinning up a plan. You need to understand how to respond to this stuff and react to medical events and shootings and all that. You got to train, definitely. That's step one. But what about all the other stuff left of bang, all those pre-event indicators? So that's about being proactive, that hunter's mindset. Going back to that sheepdog analogy, all right? I started to talk about it before. The sheepdog's sitting there protecting the flock, and he's waiting for that wolf to show up and kind of attack the sheep, and that's when he's going to pounce into action, right? Does that work anymore? Again, the nature of threats has changed. Does that work that I'm going to, as a sheepdog, just sit there and wait? Oh, a wolf, and now I'm going to respond, okay? Real world. Take that analogy and put it in real world. What would happen if I send one sheepdog after a wolf pack? That sheepdog's not coming back, right? So I need to build a hybrid wolf, okay? I want you to walk away from me, my training, a wolf, being able to do, what you got to do, but you're a hybrid wolf in that you protect the sheepdog and the sheep, and they don't even know you're kind of there. You're just laying in the cut. They don't know you're there because you're not even near them. You've ranged out past that flock. You're 2, 3, 10 miles out. You're watching the wolves where they sleep and what they eat and what the habits they're creating. You see what I mean? So that's how we do that, right? You're not trying to analyze every bit of information here, okay? Most people get paralysis by analysis, all right? You're trying to take in all the information. This training is not for critical thinking, okay? Critical thinking is when you have all the time and safety to weigh all the options and make a decision. Think of like a court case with judges and lawyers, In times of fear or threat, you don't have time to build a profile on a serial killer. You have to make snap decisions very quickly, okay? Those decisions are probably going to look pretty ugly, but the good solution now is better than the best solution too late, right? So we'll get into how do we actually do that, all right? It's to make a reasonable inference, right? I'm not going to say you're going to be 100% all the time when you use these research-based behaviors, but because it's research-based, because it's repeatable, I can say, hey, these are research-based. You'll be right more often than you're wrong. How's that for a deal? Okay, I'll make that deal. I'll speed up your decision making. I'll stop getting from paralysis out. I'm not going to make 100%. It's not going to be a silver bullet, but I guarantee you're going to walk away from this training. You're already going to walk away from this training right now smarter than the average bear, taking in better information to speed up that decision making and make decisions on the ground.